This is the other Cheri guitar that I've been given. It's got a locking nut. It's got a strange locking nut because on the back of it you'll see Allen keys to adjust it. I just might as well look at the keys. And the neck, there's no skunk on this one. Bit of wear because it's been well played. I don't think that's been opened because the screws are in pretty good shape. And it's a lovely looking neck. And it's got another rosewood fret with some damage to it, which can be fixed, which I will fix when I'm taking this apart. This is just a preview video to let you see what I have been given. And this is, I'm not sure what make this is, but it's a stunning color of metallic red. Again, it's got a humbucker, but it's got a screaming humbucker. It's called a Seymour Duncan Screaming something. Now, I don't know what screaming it is. It's also got this, which, if you look at the writing on it, it's licensed under Floyd Rose. Does that mean it's a Floyd Rose? I don't know, but it's licensed under Floyd Rose. And I'm going to set it up and test it and take it all apart and have a good look at it and get it set up. And I don't know what the bits of tape are hiding, but I presume somebody's, let me just do that. Well, that's the first time I've noticed them. Let me just take off the tape. Fortunately, it's not that tape that does a lot of damage. I have a lot of these screws, so I can replace them. Oh, I see it's got a little bit of a damage there. Well, that's not to worry. That feels very flimsy, but I might even replace that because I got a lot of those. So, anyway, that's a lovely looking guitar, and it was given to me to sell. And I'm going to do just that. After I have taken it apart, fixed everything up that needs to be fixed up, which isn't a lot, and sell it. And everything that I sell goes to an animal charity. I don't keep any profit for myself. I don't even spend money on strings because they're donated to me. Oh, my voice, because they're donated to me. So I just thought I'd give you a preview of this guitar. Whether there'll be anything for me to video when I'm doing the repair of it or the taking of it apart, I don't know, but we'll see. But there you go. I think it's very nice of the gentleman. Well, I think it's time to get this Cheri plucked. This is the Cheri. It needs to be done up and sold for the animals. There's very little wrong with it, but I'm just going to give it a once over now and give it a clean up and put new strings on it if there's nothing wrong with it. And my new setup isn't allowing me to get the guitar fully into it. I must show you my new setup because I'm so tired of this being out of focus. I bought a huge monitor over here, and the camera is directly attached to the monitor, and I can see things much clearer instead of looking at that little tiny square thing on the back of the camera. And it was also on the camera, because the way the camera's positioned, it automatically flips itself. So if you turn the camera down towards the deck, the picture I'm looking at's upside down, so I couldn't tell whether it was in focus or not. But as we go along, I might be able to move this thing further over and see the whole thing. But this one we're doing now, oh, that's not far from it, is it? We have to put the strings in there. Oh, they're already not tightened, so that's good. So I can just take them off. I'll check the net to see that it's... do the frets? Frets need a bit of a polish. Probably just a polish. But let's just check for straightness first of all. Cheri guitar are a very good make. The other guitar sold and the money went to the animals. I'm very pleased. Nice amount went to the animals. I sold another guitar that I was given this week for £70, which will go to the animals. I must tell the owner that I sold it because he gave it to me to sell. I have to remember who the owner was. Right, that's perfectly straight neck, perfectly straight. Beautiful tuners, lovely guitar. I like this guitar. And not that fussy on these things, but that's just my own personal preference. So what I'm going to do now is get this polished. I don't think I need to touch the fret. I'm just going to use some 2000 polish 2000 grit. Oh, look, I just happen to have a sheet of 2500 grit, which will do perfectly for my polishing. So all I'm going to do is just polish it. Let's just make sure. Because I got the camera now that I can look on the screen, I can make sure there's a little square on my screen just around there that tells me where the focus is going to be. So it tells me the focus is there. And it's very handy when I can look in the screen. It's a 17 or a 24 inch screen that I'm looking at. And you can see it's actually much easier for me to make sure that you guys are in the picture and are in focus. Because there's nothing worse than watching a video that goes out of focus all the time. I suppose I'll have to check to see these are, look how easy that is to clean. It's just 2500. I must check it for fret leveling before I clean it. Okay, so now all I have to do is clean this, and I'm going to use baby wipes. Little ones, Sainsbury's baby wipes. A cute little baby. Oh, for goodness sake. And they're 99% water, and there's no chemicals, and they're actually quite good for what I'm doing. Yes, I could get tissues, and yes, I could soak the tissues in some sort of dilute soap and all that, but this is lazy, and it's nice, and it feels better, and I'm happy, and la 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 land. I'm sorry I haven't been putting up as many guitars as I used to do, but that's only because I've been so busy with my energy consultancy business. It really has been very, very busy. Also my design business, I design CD covers for various artists, and they've been keeping me busy. So this here, those are the things that pay me money, so I can do this. And as I say, I don't monetize my YouTube. I don't think I'd get anything from it anyway, because this is a specialist thing for crazy guys like you and me. Right, okay, that's pretty nice. That came up pretty nice. This is all going so well. What could be possibly going to be going wrong? I'm going to get it intonated. I can oil the neck. Just clean at the edge of the frets with this. Frets have some wear on them, but not a lot. On the camera, I'm looking at the camera, it makes it look like there's a lot of wear, but there's not. It just must be the width of the frets look darker on the screen. Right, okay. So they're not too bad at all. Right. Let me look at my glasses. Where's my glasses? Those screws look to be replaced. Oh no, they're not replaced. They're actually just smaller than those ones because it's a humbucker. And those screws used to be black. So I'm going to return them back to black. Back to black. Ah. Right, okay. So, who's that back to black girl? What do you call her? The one that drugged out all the time, and she died of an overdose. I forget her name, but I never liked her. I never liked her. But only recently, when I listened to her voice without watching her antics, you know, the lazy, sloppy way she was on stage, and it was her style, I'm sure, like, you know, trollop type thing. But when I listen to her voice now, she does have a lovely voice, and she has a very unique voice that you knew it was her right away, and her name will come to me someday. So now, oh, Georgie Girl. Hello, Georgie Girl. She has to star. You're just going to show your bum to people and that's it, yeah? You're just going to no, you're looking to see what there is to nosy about. How I'm going to get the strings in there, well, that's the fine intonation. Oh, Georgie Girl wants a cuddle, so if Georgie Girl wants a cuddle, you guys are second place. Sorry. You remember me gurning about this here, how you want to put a new string, how can you get in there because it's down below the body height? Well, you need your truss rod arm to make it even easier, and you have to put lots of weight on it and then use the Allen key to get in there. Now, that's a pain in the butt, because if you've got a full set of strings on and you're playing guitar, it's a pain. So I'm going to use a little bit of trickery and put a little bit of wood underneath there so that I can put new strings on without scratching that whole place. But it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it's ridiculous, I tell you. Let me just see. I got a set of strings here. I'm going to use 9s. Sorry, I'm shaking the place. I've got my new setup, which I'm very pleased about now. I think I've got everything working the way I want it, and I can actually see on my screen to the left what I'm doing, which is lovely. Let me just show you on my other camera what I mean. Before, I had a tiny little screen on the back of the camera to work with, but now I just show you in my camera. I'm going to show you that, right? You can see that I have a monitor up there which actually lets me see what I'm doing. There's my lovely little hand. Ooh! So that means the camera's there pointing downwards, and I can look to my left and I can actually see the things that I need to see even better, because I don't need 2 pairs of glasses. So that helped out a lot. Right, so I've got the little bit of wood. Now I tell you, if that came down on your fingers, that would hurt you. That would hurt you like broer. So I'm going to lose these. And I'm going to lose, I think they're all loose. This one's very far up, I don't know why. But we'll see. Look how far up it is. We're going to have to intonate this as well. So 2 sets of Allen keys. Why is this clicking away? It's clicking away because it doesn't like the wood underneath it. I'll put the wood that way because I can see it then. Right, now I'll put the strings in. This is from Ian Lamont. These were donated strings. Thank you, Ian. Very kind. Oh. What do you see coming up the inside? The sniff, the nosy around. Are you going to be looking for? Yes, she's wanting attention. Sorry. Oh, gosh. But when Georgie Girl wants attention, she gets it. Sorry. There she is. You know you're taking over the world here? Let me just see, I put it there. Hey? You know you're taking, I know I love you too. Right, I know I love you too. Oh, she wants cuddles. Right, okay. Now, how can I do any work like this? Huh? Oh, don't give me those. Looking at the camera, you're a spoilt little bitch. Right, let me switch off the camera. Oh, ow. I'm allowed to take my hand away. Let go of me. Right, I'm back again. Now, I have to clip off the end of the... You know, I keep on moaning, but I still don't like these things. I'm sure there's a better idea than this. See, if I clipped off that way, I have to lose all that there. And so I'm going to take off the other end. Georgie Girl's still sniffing around. So I'll put it in there. Oh, and Georgie Girl's playing with the other end. On the bench, this is not just as hard to do. Can you imagine though if you were playing in a gig and you had to do that? And how tight do you make that? Right, okay. And I'm still worried about scratching there. Right, okay. Now, red, to take the red away as well. Oh, Georgie Girl's chasing. That's her chewing the wire at the other end. because the strings squish when you tighten it up, it's hard to determine when they're tight enough. So what have you got? Georgie girl, no, leave the strings alone. Sorry girl, leave the strings alone. Black. You can't see her, but she's chewing the other end of the strings. It doesn't feel to be in the center, so let me just move that out again. There you go there, it's in the center of the block. I didn't have it right on the center of the block. Georgie Girl's chewing away. Right. Sorry girl, sorry, but it's not yours. Right. There's purple, red, and silver, so the next one is green. G string is green. Take that off. And is there room in there? No, there's not. I think a little bit bigger piece of wood would... See, I'm afraid of that hitting there. The scratching. Because this is a beautiful guitar. I love it. And it probably is a great player. I haven't played it yet. And it looks super. And I think I'm going to sell this for $225. I sold the other Cheri, and the chappie was very happy with it. And he'd probably be watching this video. And I think that this is a slightly newer version, but I think I could get $225 for it. And it goes straight to the animals. I don't, because the strings were donated, I have no costs involved at all to take off the animal charity. So the chappie that bought the other guitar sent him the guitar, in England, across the water, and it's all based on trust. And he played it and loved it, and he sent money to the animal charity, which it's all, I think true guitar people, you get to know them. They're a special breed of people, and they would never think of cheating. You know, that man could have just kept the guitar and walked off with it. I would have kicked up stink, but what could you do, you know? But I think guitar people are a breed of people apart. Well, most of them. Don't go crazy, and make sure you know a little bit about the person you're selling it to. But you can always tell somebody who's genuine. You get these ones coming onto the Facebooks and stuff like that there that are saying, will you take this kind of deposit, will you take that? And then you sort of get, what's going on? That's jammed a bit, that's open now. Could you imagine doing this on stage if you're playing? Moan, 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 moan. I'm an Irish moaner. Right, okay. Why is that not? It's stuck, that one. It's got a little bit of stickiness in it, and I have to get down in there to make sure that that's... Now I need my other glasses. Right, okay. So I can make sure I get the finer wire into there. Because it doesn't feel like it's going in there properly. Because these don't squish, you can put good weight on them. I was thinking the other night that you're putting these wires between two blocks and you're actually nearly cutting them at that edge but I see in this that they've rounded that edge, so it's not being like being clamped between the teeth of a pair of pliers. They've actually thought that out. Right, I'm still squishing that one. Okay, what I'm going to do now before I go up to the top end, I'm going to get and loosen these what do you call intonators, because I think I might even put a drop of. I might just put a drop of. All right, there's a little bit of cleverness that I like. If the intonators don't go far enough forward for the guitar, they've actually got two sets of holes. You can move the bolt further forward. Two sets of holes. So that's a nice idea. And that one is quite far forward. I wonder why it needs to be that far forward, but we'll soon discover it. Right, okay. See, those are moved forward and those are back. But we'll see why that is in a moment or two. Okay, I'm going to tidy up that and then move to the head and let you see me putting the strings on the head, because it's got that other bloody thing that I don't like. Moan, 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 moan. Okay, I've moved it to the head, and now I'm going to put the strings on the. Now I'm not going to put the locking nut in yet, not until I've done a lot of tuning and a lot of intonation work, because I want this guitar just perfect. I discovered another thing to bitch about. I picked this guitar is relatively this guitar is relatively heavy, and I picked it up like this here, and I hit my hand on that, and it didn't cut me, but it hurt quite a bit when I hit my hand on that steel thing. So that's another little bit of bitchy that I'm going to bitch about this guitar. Now let me just see if I got a nice. Yeah, that'll do. Georgie Girl didn't want attention. She just wanted to annoy me, and she started nipping at my fingers and wanting to play and roughhouse, but I never let her roughhouse. I have a laser torch for her that I play her with, and she gets totally exhausted. It's a special rechargeable one, and it's 4 cats. And when I go to reach it down from the shelf where it belongs, she goes daft. Her eyes go wild-eyed, and she knows what's coming. And she starts bouncing about. Maybe someday I'll take a video of her whenever she sees it. She goes crazy with it for about 10 minutes, and then she just falls on her side and collapses with her tongue out. She's exhausted. Okay. But will you hear any of this? Because I intend to speed this up. Maybe not. Maybe I will. But the other video I've done for the 1960 Futurama, it's 4 hours long. And I'm going to have to either speed it all up or these long videos. I think half an hour is more than enough. 25 minutes is more than enough. That's why I break it up into 2 pieces. It's also tedious for me to edit a big long video, because if you take a piece out or a chunk out, you've got to go back to the start and video. All right, I'm lazy. But you've got to go back to the start and edit and make sure it hasn't affected the start of the video, what you've just done in the middle. And 25 minutes is just a nice cozy length to edit as well. I've got a new editing program. Doesn't mean to say I'll be any better quality, because editing, as much as I like the fun of it, it still takes a long time. Can you imagine how long it takes to edit a 4-hour video? Take out all my swearing. Well, yeah, don't swear very much. I would swear like Father Ted, feck or bollocks or bum or something. The other thing about long videos is that I only have a 30 megabyte broadband speed. And could you imagine how long it takes to upload a, say, a 6 gigabyte movie? Obviously I don't do it in ultra high definition because I just don't have the broadband for it. But it takes me, for a longer movie, 3 hours to upload, never mind the editing. Just letting you know, just letting you know. If I didn't like doing it, I wouldn't do it. That's life. Right, okay. Right, what are you, there, up there, underneath the, I'll just check you later on. Right. Now, let me just loosen off all the fine tuners down at the bottom. Right, okay, I'm going to move now back down to the bottom, get it a bit in tune, and then intonate it. Okay? Well, here we are at the bottom again. So, loosen them off. Take that off, let them sink back in again. Action is superb. Too bad if it's not at the top, because then I have to file down or take shims out of the top because it's got the locking nut. And I don't know, have I ever plugged this guitar in? I don't know. Join me on this journey as we plug the guitar in for maybe the first time. I don't see any reason to plug it in because it didn't have strings on it. Right, I like to put it on before I plug it in it to have a listen. That's okay. Needs a little bit of, yeah. It's just like my playing. This is going to have to be tightened at the bottom because you can't tighten it anymore. It's a bit loose. So I think there's maybe an Allen key on the other side that tightens it, but we'll worry about that all the time. So this is definitely going to be sped up because you don't want to hear me going ding 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 tuning upwards. So goodbye, and you'll hear. Okay. So. Very impressed with the sustain. Listen. Good pickups. Good pickups. Anyway, let's get the intonation done. Intonation's behind the string, so we have to work with the string behind it. So. Far too sharp. So it has to come back. So how do you do that without scratching the guitar? I know they're loose. Maybe this way, because that loosens them off a bit more. Maybe there's a special tool that you get for these things. Believe it or not, that's right now. But that's a pain in the ass to have to do that. Let me just give it an extra tighten. Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, the head of the Allen key is not turning. It's been ruined a bit. It's been the wrong Allen key's been used in it a few times. No, that's just turning. I think I got it tightened. Let's see what the intonation's like. Perfect. Not happy with that intonator. So let me see if there's another Allen key, maybe a metric one that might fit it. Just to give it that little touch. No, it's too big. I'm going to have to maybe use a screwdriver. Right, that's a pain. Be worth buying another Allen key for that. Anyway, right, that's it. Intonated. Let me just finally tune it and see what it sounds like. God, that was long. Something's hitting. What's hitting the pickup? Right, let me lower the pickup down a little bit so I can get it tuned properly. You don't have to have the pickup. So, of course, it might be all the movement I've had. This adjusted thing. Oh, sorry. Needs some work. Okay, I'm going to just put a little bit of juice down there and tidy up the screws, and I'll do that next. Turn off the amplifier. Okay, I think I'm hungry now, so I'm going to get something to eat and turn off that too. So there you go. Bye bye. That was a pain in the butt. Right, I've been edumacated since we last spoke. I looked it up, and there is a little tool which grips onto those nuts, and you can twist it and turn it and get the intonator to move back and forth. The problem is with this machine, you still have to do the squish, put the tool on, put the bar in, and then do the intonator. So there is a, what do you call it, intonator tool assistant for those Floyd Bridges. Floyd Bridges. Remember Floyd Bridges? He was a good actor. He starred in the what do you call it, hot gun movies or something like that they call it. Anyway, what I'm going to do now is look at those black screws and see if I can make them maybe a bit nicer, and I'm going to take off these and put a little drop of something nice on them to make them less squeaky. Come on, machines. Can I get underneath? No, I can't get underneath that. Oh, I can get underneath that one. Right, oh, look at the dirt underneath it. Right, okay. Quite dirty. Right, okay. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's plastic. It's what you normally find. Plastic whenever somebody puts the machine together. They put it together with the plastic on the pick guard, and they forget to take it off, or they don't go underneath the tools to take it off. Right, okay. Right, so what I'm going to do now is spray some machine stuff down there. You can't see. You can't see. Not that there's much to see, but get them a bit cleaner. They're in good condition. Good condition. There is a little thing you can buy that you put over the top, and you spray this down, and it goes down into it. But really, I don't. As long as I've already tested this, this doesn't harm it. There was a guitar, that Futurama one. This WD-40 would harm it, because it was all the old cellulose paint, which is still used today on some guitars, but I don't believe it's as hard wearing as the new gloss paints. Let's put the jack plug in and have a listen. Yeah, that's much better now. And just a tiny touch helped. I'll put a little drop in there. Yeah, it's all lovely grubbly. Excellent. Right, can turn it off now. Now what am I going to do with these screws? They're dirty. Do I just stain them, put them back, or do I have new black screws that I can put in their place? So I don't have black screws. So what I'll do is I'll cheat. I'll put indelible. Indelible ink on them, which is cheating, I know. And I'll screw it back down on again. And let me just make sure it's clean. Put some ink on it. This is bluff. This is just bluff. Well, is it bluff if it works? You know, is it? It'll dry off non-shiny, and it'll look better. So there's one of the screws that looks slightly rusty, and I'm going to give it a little bit of a clean. Oh, it seems to come off just it might be just brown dust. I wish it would tell you when the card is full. All it does is flash up a signal on the screen, and it says card is full. So I don't know what you missed. What I'm trying to do is get that screw out, because it's going to have to be glued in, because it has no wood beneath it. Are my nails going to do it? They are. Oh, I didn't know you were magnetic screw. Let me just see. Now what I do see is it's white around the screw, so I'm going to just make it not white around the screw. maybe that's because people have been screwing it in for so many years against nothing. As I was saying, I'm going to not use super glue to glue this screw in. I'm just going to use a touch of, let me just see. Just going to use a touch of wood glue, because wood glue will break away quite easily when in the future, whenever it needs to come out again. I suppose that maybe whenever somebody takes off this, they could put a little piece of wood on there, like the. But this is only just going to be a tack. Actually, what? Nah. That's it. Another reason why I use wood glue is it's less messy. As he makes this huge mess. There. Right, that's that glue set in. We'll let that sit for a while. And then we'll give it all a polish later on. Now those screws are a mess. There's some staining. Those screws are a mess. So I'll do the easiest ones to do first, which is these. Oh. That one is going to have to be sanded, and notice white as well, but it's a big screw. So this one's got some rust on it. I'm sure someone will say I should be using enamel black paint on them. Yep, I'm sure you're right. But what I might have been able to do is use crust on it, which reacts with the rust. I haven't screwed that down yet. It reacts with the rust and turns it black, but I think it needs rust to go black, and that's not got any rust on it now. So, and yes, you could use black gloss paint, but I don't happen to have any handy. I'm going to buy one of those intonators. They're about 17 or 20 pound. They're one of these Floyd Rose intonator helpers that you buy at the back of the guitar. I might be able to make one, but I haven't got time to waste making tools, so I'll spend the 20 quid rather than waste 2 hours making a tool or being a tool. I presume you know the reason why I'm doing this when they're not screwed in. It's because then I don't mess up the scratch plate. Now I'm going to let that dry before I do much cleaning. Now these are going to be a little bit more awkward, although they are going to get done, because they don't come out. Yeah, they don't come out, so I think I'm going to have to do them in position. So just clean them and do exactly what I don't want to do, is clean them in position. And I think there's plastic beneath this one, so I'm just going to clean them, and I can't get the plastic off without taking the whole fretboard off, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So let me look at it closely. I don't like doing this up close because my hand's not as steady as it should be. And this is not as... yeah, it's okay. Because the bottom part's black and the top part has lost its blackness. So I'm just doing the top part so I don't have to go near the pick guard. Now, I've seen one place where I went near the pick guard. Right, just going to give this a clean now. I think everything dries instantly. So, and maybe see if I can tighten that up any further, which means I'll have to take the back off. So I'll just spin it around and do that now. Can I take this off? Yes, I can. Where's Georgie Girl? Georgie Girl's sleeping behind me on the settee. She was very, very naughty this morning. Decided that I had enough sleep. It's Saturday today, I believe. Hey Cheri, what day is this?
It's Saturday, the 25th of June, 2022.
There you go, Saturday. I was right. Hey. And she decided I wasn't getting to sleep in. I thought, I'll sleep in past 9 this morning. Nope. She came up and she thumped my face with her paws several times. And then when I wasn't expecting it, I turned around and she jumped on my tummy when I wasn't expecting it. So the next thing you know, I scoo her away. Shoo, go. And I turn around again and I hear rattling, and she's knocked my phone off the bedside table, knocked a file off the bedside table. Well, this is the one that I glued together, so I'll be careful with that. And she was knocking everything down all around her. She was saying, I want you up, so you're going to get up. This guitar, what is it? Is it 20 years old? Must look it up again before I give a little demo on it, because it looks really good, in really good condition. And I'm very pleased with it. And it looks like a good player because it's really good action, really straight neck, maybe too straight, but I think it's just fine. Look at that there, that's beautiful. Why are you not in focus? Get into focus. Thank you. Don't do that again. I'm speaking to you. All right. Oh, down there. Now, what'll I do with that down there? Don't bring me down. You see there? I put a little bit of red in, but it's too bright a red. But I wonder if I'm going to just take it off my finger again, and that'll darken it down. And it's better than white. And when that dries a bit, let me just go around the sides of it. Yeah, it's better than the white. Right, okay. I'm going to tidy up my bench because the bench is a mess. And then do the head, finish off the head, do the tuning again, and play a little tune on it. So I'll come back to you. So I did a bit more research on this guitar, and I can't find an awful lot, although if I dug deeper I probably would be able to find it. But I'm discovering it's probably 1994, and these were considered quite classic, because they're handmade copies. In other words, they're just not pushed just straight off a machine, but they're handmade. So they're quite. Oh, there's Georgie Girl. Are you wanting attention? Are you? Tell me something. Oh, she's wanting attention. All right, okay, I'm sorry. But as I was saying, let me just. They're handmade. Right, okay. There she is, the Georgie Girl. She probably won't like me talking, but they're handmade ones made in Korea, and they were only manufactured for 2 years. Now, I cannot find any information on this make. I think this is one of the top of the range ones because it's got the Floyd Rose and the locking tuners on, And now Georgie Girl wants to climb on my shoulders. Right, okay, I haven't shaved in a week or two. I don't care. So I'll come back to you whenever she's... Well, I am coming back to you because she's gone. All right, okay. Right, so anyway, as I was saying, they're pretty good guitars and I'm very happy with it. And I'm now going to do the finishing touches to it. It's a rare shot of me you got there. Oh, autographs, £50. Just send me a request and a check. Guineas, preferably. Oh, you'll notice I haven't put away those yet because I ain't going to need them. Although, we'll see. Let's get it, check the tuning and find out where we are. The final tuning, I hope. They all had to go up a little bit because I'm tuning it flat. I don't need to check the intonation because the intonation will stay the same. But I don't need to go to the bother to tune it all over again. I'm going to tighten these nuts down. Another little thing to complain about with these nuts is that string's lying across the valley like that. And when I tighten the nuts down, the tuning will change. What do you see? When I do it, I'll just show you. It'll change it. And then you're going to have to use these fine tuners at this end to get it into where you want it. Mon. Yap. I might not even lock these down too tight because when I sell it, it's going to have to be tuned again. And if anybody wants it, let me know. I think 225, and this is the top of it. And those pickups are stupendously good. Love them. Let's just see. Hold on a second, just to prove my point. I love proving my point. E. Look. It's gone sharp. And I only have sharpness to work with. So loosen it off. And what I'll do is I'll tighten these all up. Because I shouldn't have tuned them perfectly, I should have tuned them flat. So, right, okay, that's it done, and I'm going to put it on my knee and play a little few chords. Don't expect Mount Segovia, or what do you call the Australian guy? Head's not working today. Never does work. There's an Australian guy, he tours all the time. He is a genius on the guitar. Can't remember his name. You can remember his name. Okay, I'll come back to you. Right, anyway, it's playing nicely. I don't know if it's too loud or not, you know. Pickups right up top. hopefully this will go to a nice new home. It is a lovely guitar.